Getting your music onto Spotify editorial playlists is the fastest way to explode your streams and actually start making an income from your Spotify. But getting your music onto these playlists is easier said than done. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple steps that you can follow to increase your chances of actually getting your music onto a Spotify editorial playlist. Hi, I'm Reagan Ram with OrpheusAudioAcademy.com, helping you make better music and grow your fan base online. In this video, we're going to walk through how you can get your music onto these editorial playlists. Now, I won't be covering how you actually submit your music to these playlists, as I did a previous video on that, which I'll link in the description below. But this is looking at what are the steps you need to take in order to actually get noticed by the Spotify editorial team so they actually add your music to these amazing editorial playlists. Now, before I cover the 5 steps, I just want to let you know about my free Spotify playlist placement guide that you can download by clicking in the description below. And this will walk you through how to actually get your music onto user-generated playlists. Now, I know we're talking about editorial playlists in this video, but getting your music on user-generated playlists is not only much easier, but also a very effective way to grow your streams. And it's actually going to help you get your music onto these editorial playlists, which I'll discuss a little bit later. So if you want that free guide so you can get your music onto more playlists, just click in the description below or go to OrpheusAudioAcademy.com/Spotify playlists. All right, so how do we get our music on these editorial playlists? Well, looking at the big picture, you have to kind of follow the rules of the Spotify algorithm to get the attention of the editorial team. And so this means you need to give the algorithm and the editorial team some positive indicators that you have good music. And these positive indicators are things like listening time, saves, playlists, ads, streaming velocity, and so on. And streaming velocity means like how many streams you're getting in a short period of time. If you're getting a bunch of streams over a short period of time, you have a high streaming velocity. If you're just getting a trickle of streams, that is a low streaming velocity. And what all these indicators say is that just like every other social media platform or really any other platform on the internet, Spotify's goal is to keep their users on their platform as long as possible, because that means they can share more ads to them, show more ads to them, and make more money. So you want to show Spotify that your music is helping keep people on the platform, or it's bringing new people to the platform. So if you can demonstrate that your music is doing one or both of these things, then you're more likely to be put on the Spotify editorial playlists. So how can you show Spotify that your music is worthy of being added to these editorial playlists? Well, step number 1 is to update your account before you submit. So this is something you want to do before you submit your music. And so you want to show Spotify that you are active, you are actually willing to invest in their platform. So you want to be updating your Spotify profile regularly. And I have another video that shows you how to go about, editing and claiming your Spotify for artists and editing your Spotify profile. I'll link to that in the description below. So things you want to update, you might want to update your pictures in your Spotify profile, have an up-to-date bio in your profile, have recently posted to your social media accounts that you have linked in your Spotify, right? So if you have social media accounts displaying in your Spotify profile, make sure if someone from the editorial team clicks through to see your social media that you're actually active there. So they see you're a real artist who is serious and that their efforts won't be wasted by adding you to their editorial playlist, because they want to see that you're someone that's actively promoting their music, who's going to be driving more people to their platform. Another thing you can have is an artist pick. So again, this is showing that you're active on the platform, and also have, relevant up-to-date artist playlists listed at the bottom of your profile there. So these are different things you can update to show Spotify that you're active and you're serious. Now, step number 2 is to release music consistently. This is just good overall for the health of your music business. But the Spotify platform specifically is designed to reward consistency. Spotify is basically trying to become a social media platform. And just like social media, you wouldn't go for more than a month, right, posting on any of these platforms. A lot of them will say to post daily. Now, that might not be the case on Spotify, but you do want to be posting consistently. Otherwise, you're kind of telling Spotify that you're not really serious. So it's a good idea to release at least one single on Spotify every 4 to 8 weeks. And Spotify's CEO himself once said that, Quote, "You can't record music once every 3 to 4 years and think that's going to be enough. The artists today that are making it realize that it's about creating a continuous engagement with their fans. It is about putting the work in, about the storytelling around the album, and about keeping a continuous dialogue with your fans," unquote. You can see here that he mentioned continuous twice, just in this little quote here. So he's talking about needing to post consistently on Spotify. That's what Spotify wants to see, and that helps you potentially get on these editorial playlists. This is also just going to help your fans be more active and be more engaged so that you're getting more streams with every new song you put out. And again, this also helps with getting on those editorial playlists because Spotify wants to see that your songs are having some success on their own. They're getting streams on their own, and you're getting followers without the help of them. Now, if uploading this frequently every 4 to 8 weeks seems a little too daunting, just click in the description below, and I have some resources in there to help you finish more music faster, including a guide on how to write a song in just an hour. All right, this brings us to step 3, which is to promote your music consistently. So not only upload your music consistently, but you also want to be consistently promoting that music. And so a great way to do this is with every new release, create several launch assets to promote that song. And so an asset is just any piece of media that you're using that points people back to your song. So this could be emails, this could be images or graphics for social media, this could be videos, or any ads that you're running. So these are all things that are assets that are going to, help promote that music. So it's good if you can spread these out over a period of time and create multiple, videos around every song that you're uploading and releasing so that you can continually be promoting that song and bringing people back to Spotify to stream your music. So right, this could be creating you have your official music video, but then maybe you'll also have a lyric video. Maybe you have a behind the scenes video. Maybe you have an alternate version of that song that you can post. And so not only is this getting you video content for, say, your YouTube channel, but this is a way of continually keeping your fans engaged so that they're going to listen to your song. And this way you have a never, ending stream of new music or something new to share with your fans. Because if you're releasing every 4 to 8 weeks, then you're always having something new. You have a new video out that is relevant and going to point people to your music. And then once you run out of that content, you have a new song out and new content that you can post that's promoting that song. And this way, right, you're not running out of stuff to say, right? Because this is kind of a big problem for indie artists. Is you publish your song, you tell people to go listen to it, go stream it, but then you can only say that, so many times before people just tune you out or they get annoyed with you telling people to listen to your song over and over again. But if you continually have new, interesting, relevant content that you're putting out, these videos or images, then it's a way to keep people engaged and keep them listening so that you're building up those streams in the eyes of Spotify so that you're more likely to get added to these playlists. Now, tip number 4 is to get your music added to Spotify algorithmic playlists. These are playlists like Discover Weekly, Release Radar, Daily Mix, Spotify Radio, and On Repeat and Repeat Rewind. And these are not playlists you can directly get on, right? This is music these are playlists that your music will be added to based on how well you're doing in the eyes of the algorithm. The algorithm will automatically add your music to these playlists. So first, you have to still be getting things going on your own, which I'll get to in a second. But the reason this is important is because there's basically a hierarchy of playlists on Spotify. At the bottom of the pyramid, you have the user-generated playlists, right? These are great, but they're not going to get you as much results as, say, getting on the algorithmic playlists. And then, of course, the editorial playlists above that are the pinnacle, and those are going to get you the most results. This means, going from that pyramid, you want to start with getting your music on these user-generated playlists because that's going to help you rapidly increase your streams so you get picked up by the algorithm and your music gets put onto these algorithmic playlists. And that is just one step away from catching the attention of the Spotify editorial team, so your music gets added to the editorial playlist. So again, be sure to grab my free guide in the description below that walks you through how to get your music onto these Spotify user-generated playlists so you can kick off the Spotify algorithm and eventually get your music added to these editorial playlists. Now that brings us to step 5, which is to actually pitch your music to Spotify editorial team, right? So this is actually the last step in the process. And so you want to make sure you write a great pitch. So what are the elements that make a great pitch so that Spotify actually wants to consider adding your music to their editorial playlists? Number 1, say what makes you unique and exciting. So, don't just say, hey, this music's so great, go listen to my music. You're going to love it. Point out, what makes you unique, what makes you special. Think about what's going to help you stand out above the noise of all the other thousands and thousands of submissions that they're receiving. Also, if you can use quotes from prominent people in media or other platforms that you've been featured in, this is a great way to, add social proof and show that you have some, big names in your genre or in your industry that are talking about you. If you don't have that, that's totally fine. But if you do, definitely use that. Another thing you might want to do is use insider lingo, because again, there's all these various genres of editorial playlists. And so the people that are considering adding you to the playlist that your music would be the best fit for, there might be a certain culture with its own lingo built up around that genre of music. So for example, I'm getting started creating music in the synthwave genre. And so this, has a lot of its own aesthetics and lingo associated with it. So for example, like terms like outrun, arcade games, Tangerine Dream, John Carpenter, these are other, artists that have influenced the genre. The movie Drive, the game Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, neon drenched, dreamy, nostalgia, 80s, retro futurism. These are all terms that are kind of associated with the synthwave genre. And so by using lingo that fits with that, shows that you are, again, what you're talking about, where your music fits in, and you're actually serious about what you're doing. So this is another way to help catch the attention of the right Spotify editorial curator. But of course, the best pitch you can give is how well your last single did. So you always want to be working on promoting your music and growing those streams. And that's ultimately what's going to catch the eye of the Spotify editorial team so your music gets added to these playlists. So again, grab my free guide on how to get added to more Spotify user-generated playlists. Just click in the description below to get that, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/Spotify playlists. Now that being said, if you want even more help with growing your Spotify stream so you can get on the editorial playlist, then check out my video that's playing on the screen right now, which shares 22 different tips for how you can grow your Spotify streams. All right, with that, have an awesome day and keep creating.